So this is the Sparshada Bhagavad Viraha Janati Vilapa, which means lamentation due to separation from the Lord and his associates, from Prarthana, Narottam Das Thakur. Page 91. Ye anila premadana karuna pracho Ye anila premadana karuna pracho Hena prabhu kota gela acharya thakur Hena prabhu kota gela acharya thakur Kahamora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kahamara Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kahadasa Raghunata Patita Pavan Kahadasa Raghunata Patita Pavan Kahamara Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Mara Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kapta Gela Gora Nataraj Ekakale Gora Gela Gora Nataraj Pashani Kotibo Mata Annale Pashibha Ashanika Deva Mata Annale Pashibha Gauranga Gunera Nidhi Kotagele Pava Gauranga Gunera Nidhi Kotagele Pava Se Sabha Shangira Sanghe Ye Kolo Vilas Ye Sabha Sangira Sanghe Ye Kolo Vilas Se Sangana Paya Khande Narottamadas Se Sangana Paya Khande Narottamadas Ye Anila Premadana Karuna Pracho Ye Premadana Karuna Pracho Hena Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur Ena Prabhu Gota Gela Acharya Thakur. So we'll read the English translation. Hare Krishna. So English translation. So this song is recited when it's the disappearance of a great personality of a devotee. In other words, they leave the world. So we sing this song. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivas Acharya gone? Where are my Srup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against a rock and enter into fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. So today is the disappearance of Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami is one of the main disciples, or one of the main followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he was coming right after Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami, the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are sometimes referred to as Rupanuga. Rupanugas means they're followers of Rupa Goswami. So, in Rupa Goswami, he really knew, you could say, he really knew the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, unlike anyone else, practically speaking. So he was really close to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So anyways, we'll read about his a little brief biography about him. In 1517, Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami, his elder brother, came to Vrindavan to fulfill 4 orders of Lord Chaitanya's. So who's been to Vrindavan? You haven't been to Vrindavan. You haven't been to Vrindavan. So you should go to Vrindavan. When you can. So 4 orders he fulfilled of Lord Chaitanya's. So 1 was to uncover Sri Krishna's lost pastime places, because over time there are certain places where where Krishna performed his pastimes. Whatever, he danced with the gopis here, he killed the Keshi demon here, the horse demon. He, there's different pastimes. He jumped off the tree to kill Kaliya, to fight with Kaliya. He didn't kill, but he was about to kill. To fight with Kaliya, and so on. So there's he lifted Govardhan Hill. So there's many pastimes where Krishna performed, there's many places where Krishna performed these pastimes, but over time they become covered. People didn't really know where they were. So Lord Rupa Goswami came to do that, to uncover the lost pastime places. So, and also to install deities to start puja. So, of course, within the scripture, it is said that there's different definitions of different types of devotees. So it says that the Uttamadhikari, the highest devotee, they see Krishna everywhere, practically. So, they see Krishna everywhere. And they see everybody as devotees of Krishna besides themselves. That's a very high level. In the Madhyamadikari, they see Krishna, they offer all their love to Krishna, they see devotees, and they develop friendship. They avoid the envious, and they preach to the innocent. That's a Madhyamadikari. And then the Kanishta Adhikari, one who just sees God in the temple. They just see God in the temple, means in the deity form, and they don't know how to properly respect Vaishnavas or people in general. So bad etiquette, bad behavior. And not really seeing the spiritual side to anything besides just the temple. So that's the Kanishta. So sometimes people may think that, oh, deity worship is for the Kanishta Adhikaris, it's for the the lowest devotees. But here, Rupa Goswami is being instructed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to set up deity worship in Vrindavan. And he's not just doing it for the Kanishta Adhikaris, he's doing it because it's very important. Rupa Goswami himself and so many other Goswamis, they had their personal deities. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Govardhan Shila. And in Nectar Devotion it says that there's the 5 most potent forms of devotional service, which means it's by Rupa Goswami, which means it's applicable to now, today. Which one of the most potent forms of devotional service is deity worship. And of course, hearing the srimadbhagavatam, chanting the holy names, residing in a holy place, and what's the last one? Deity worship, holy name, holy place, association with devotees, and what's hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's one of the most 5 potent forms of devotional service. So yes, Kanishta Adhikaris do engage in deity worship. Madhyama Adhikaris do engage in deity worship, and Uttama Adhikaris also engage in deity worship. So it doesn't mean it's just for the neophytes or something. It's very important. The third, to write bhakti shastras, to write scriptures, and 4, to propagate the rules of bhakti yoga. So wearing only a cope and loincloth and kanta patchwork quilt, Sri Rupa Goswami lived a mendicant's life absorbed in hearing, chanting, writing about Radha Govinda's sweet loving pastimes in Sri Vrindavan Dham. More details of his conduct and character are mentioned in Sanatana Goswami's biography. Sri Rupa Goswami wrote practical yet profound transcendental books. He established Sri Sri Radha Govindaji, the beloved deities of the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya. Through extensive Vedic research, Sri Rupa Goswami proved that Sri Chaitanya's teachings present the highest philosophy and the perfection of religion. Gaudiya Vaishnavas are known as Rupanugas, followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. Every Raganuga devotee aspires to become a servant of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Se Mor Bhajana Pujana. The feet of Sri Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami's eternal form, as Sri Radha's maidservant and Vraj, are my only wealth. They are the only object of my service and worship. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu commissioned Sri Rupa Goswami to write on the science of Rasa Tattva. In the Chaitanya Chandradoya, Sri Kavi Karnapur says that Rupa Goswami is the form of true love and devotion. Sri Chaitanya empowered him to explain his own love and devotion and to propagate it to the world. Lord Chaitanya manifested his own pastimes through Sri Rupa Goswami. He received the title Bhakti Rasacharya, Guru of Devotional Mellows. So, sometimes there's this idea, which, not sometimes, I mean it's a solid idea within Gaudiya Vaishnavism, is that we should follow in the footsteps of a resident of Vrindavan. So, of course, that could mean many things to many people, depending on who they hear from and what they understand. But one thing is that there's residents of Vrindavan, like, for example, Rupa Goswami. He's Rupa Goswami in Vrindavan. And he has his activities, and he has his life, and what he did with his life. And then there's his form in the spiritual world, which is Sri Rupa Manjari, who he has his form and his activities and everything in the spiritual world. So a lot of the times when people think about following a resident of Vrindavan, they automatically think about the spiritual world. Like when they think about, they don't necessarily think, they think I'll follow Rupa Manjari, which that could translate in all types of interesting things if people don't know what they're doing. But also my point is that when it's referring to following a resident of Vrindavan, it also could be referring to not just Rupa Manjari but Rupa Goswami. So what he did in this world, for example. So that's a He received the title Bhakti Rasacharya, Guru of Devotional Mellows, for his devotional classics. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamani, Lalita Madhava, and others. So Prabhupada said the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which he translated in Nectar of Devotion, that's like the law book of devotion. It discusses everything there. And Ujjvala Nilamani, of course, within the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it discusses the different relationships you could have with Krishna and many other things. But so Ujjvala Nilamani is specifically, it's a book dedicated to the conjugal aspect, that the conjugal relationship. In other words, the relationship souls could have with Krishna as gopis, yes, mainly gopis. So it describes all the different types of gopis and different groups and this and that. So he thought it was so important he should write a whole book on it, this conjugal relationship with Krishna, and Lalita Madhava and others. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu gives the essence of all Vedic scriptures regarding the kingdom of bhakti. In great detail it explains how to advance in Krishna consciousness and attain prema bhakti, pure unalloyed love for Radha Govinda and Sri Vrindavan. To understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, says Narottam Das Thakur, you must serve the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami with intense eagerness. Serving means hearing, studying, chanting, and strictly following the teachings of Sri Rupa Goswami. Serving also means praying to, crying out to, meditating upon, and dedicating your entire life to the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Sadhana Deepika states that those on the path of devotional service must always associate with Sri Rupa Goswami's doctrines on prema bhakti. By the grace of Sri Jiva Goswami, one can understand the transcendental truths of Rupa Goswami's teachings. Sri Rupa Goswami established the deities of Radha Govinda and Vrindavan. Bhakti Ratnakar quotes one song from Srinivasacharya describing the beauty of Rupa Goswami's beloved Govindaji deity. So this is the quote. Having seen the incomparable beauty of Sri Govinda, Sri Radhika begins describing it to her Sakhis. Who has sculptured that moon-like face, and who has sculptured those two lotus eyes? Only my heart knows how I feel when I see him. Who has shaped his earrings, cut carefully in gems? My mind is fixed on them. His nose pearl, surrounded by a golden ring, looks like a moon-like white flower, surrounded by lightning, smiling from behind some blue clouds. His forehead is decorated with the sandal, tilak, and beautiful mind-enchanting designs. So this is describing Rupa Goswami's deity. His forehead is decorated with sandal, tilak, and beautiful mind-enchanting designs. He shines within my heart, yet my heart aches, being incapable of beholding his beautiful face to my full satisfaction. If God has given me the power, I could continually enjoy his sweet voice. His arms are stronger than the trunks of elephants. My youthful body longs for the touch of his fingers. His graceful movements rival the gait of a maddened elephant. He is an ocean of beauty. What happened? You're thirsty? Oh. Ayurvedic tea. Okay. Today in Jaipur, Rajasthan, Sri Rupa Goswami's original deities of Radha Govindaji are forever expanding their unlimited beauty. Every day, so how many devotees visit them every day? You want to guess what it says here? Yeah. How many thousand? Yeah. Yeah. It says 10,000 devotees. It says every day 10,000 devotees run to attend their Mangalarti early in the morning. Yeah. A prabhu deity of Govindaji resides in New Govindaji temple behind the historic masterpiece of architecture that once served Radha Govinda in Vrindavan. So Pratibhu is like a replica. So the original Govindaji is in Jaipur and the replica is in Vrindavan. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says the deity of Radha Govindaji, and the reason the replicas of Vrindavan is because there was some attacks from fanatical religious groups, specifically Muslims and this and that, and they were going to break the deities, break the temples, so that they had to remove Govindaji from Vrindavan, move him to Jaipur. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that the deity of Radha Govindaji shows us how to worship Radha and Krishna. Radha Govindaji accept our service and give inspiration to increase our surrender on the path of bhakti. Acting exactly like the Shiksha Guru, Govindaji directs us and gives us opportunities to serve him. Some authorities claim that in 1564, Rupa Goswami entered Radha Govindaji's Nitya Leela, eternal pastimes, just 27 days after the disappearance of Sri Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami's Samadhi in Bhajan Kutir and Seva Kunj within the courtyard of Radha Damodar temple. Sri Rupa Goswami's Samadhi is on the front cover. There it is. Samadhi. So, all right. Rupa Goswami ki jai. Yes. You want to use the microphone?
I just wanted to make a comment. I don't know how relevant it is, but it's worth bringing up the point that you made up about following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami. Sometimes there may be a misconception that, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami within Gaura Lila is less than following Rupa Manjari in Krishna Lila, but that's actually not less. Mm-hmm. And if anything, it qualifies us to enter into understanding Rupa Manjari in Krishna Lila. So sometimes people think, that's just like the material world, but no, it's completely spiritual. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Rupa Goswami is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's not any less to follow in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami according to Vaidhi Bhakti, because that will gradually bring qualification for.
Yeah. Great. I'm glad we agree. Okay, so there's a few more minutes, so I guess we could read the Bhagavatam. Do you think you could bring it, please, Glenn? Sorry. It wasn't delivered here, so. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Alright, so I'll just read the Sanskrit in English. Doesn't look like there's a verse on the board, or Srila Jamal, yeah. Srila Tamal. Pumanyo shit uta krilba atmasambhavano namaha bhuteshu nirano krosha nirpanam tadvato vadaha Translation. So this is 4th canto, entitled Creation of the Fourth Order, chapter 17, Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the earth, text 26. Any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent, how do you say that word? Unch? E-U-N-U-C-H? Huh? No, it's like a eunuch, yeah. Yeah, eunuch, sorry. I said unch, not unch. Unch isn't a word. Eunuch. Okay, thank you. Any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent eunuch, who is only interested in his personal maintenance and has no compassion for other living entities, may be killed by the king. Such killing can never be considered actual killing. Purport. The planet Earth is actually a woman in her constitutional form, and as such she needs to be protected by the king. King Prithu Maharaj argues, however, that if a citizen within the state, be he a man, woman, or eunuch, is not compassionate upon his fellow men, he or she may be killed by the king. And such killing is never to be considered actual killing. As far as the field of spiritual activities is concerned, when a devotee is self-satisfied and does not preach the glories of Krishna, he is not considered a first-class devotee. A devotee who tries to preach, who has compassion upon innocent persons who have no knowledge of Krishna, is a superior devotee. In his prayer to the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj said that he was not personally interested in liberation from this material world. Rather, he did not wish to be liberated from his material condition until all fallen souls were delivered. Even in the material field, if a person is not interested in others' welfare, he should be considered to be condemned by the personality of Godhead, or his incarnation like Prithu Maharaj. Om Jnanatimidandasya Kananjanashalakaya Chukshuvannvaditam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Kam Karidavachalam Pangam Langai Tegadim Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurunditanam Vanshakapadubhishcha Kripa Sindhubevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Prabhupada mentions Prahlad Maharaj, whose life is described to some degree in the 7th canto of the srimadbhagavatam, and his father was Hiranyakashipu, the great, demoniac father. I would say great demoniac, but anyways. So Prahlad Maharaj has many famous verses for devotees. And one of those verses, Srila Prabhupada is paraphrasing within the purport we just read. Prayena deva munayas mukti kama maunam charanti vijanena prarartanishta naitan vihaya kripanan vimamuksha eko nanyam tvarasya sharanam pramato nupashye. So he's praying to Lord Nrsingadev, Prahlad Maharaj, and he's saying, "My dear Lord Nrsingadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they're interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet." So sometimes devotees, before they became devotees, they had this idea of going to the Himalayas. Did anybody have that idea? You two did? They wanted to go to the Himalayas and meditate. Oh yeah? They wanted to go to the Himalayas to get away from the crazy civilization, materialistic civilization, and to meditate and to, elevate their consciousness. Did you have an idea to go to the Himalayas? You did too? Okay. Well, Suresh had an idea to go to the Himalayas? No? I didn't have an idea either. I just, whatever. But here, going to the Himalayas, of course, the three of them didn't go to the Himalayas, so they're here. So we're happy about that. But you could say a higher understanding or a deeper understanding is not to go into a solitary place, the Himalayas or here or there, or to go into seclusion. Why? Because there's hundreds and thousands and millions of souls who need some help, who need help. So, I mean, practically in every major place in the world, there are some, there's doctors, there's different types of doctors, there's hospitals, there's facilities where people could get help when they have problems materially with their health and body and so on. So similarly, there has to be places where people could go and get help spiritually. And if all those places, I mean, you could just think if all the churches and all the mosques and all the temples and all the synagogues, they just said, you know what, we're sick of this. We're out of here, and they just pack up all their bags and they all move off into the Himalayas or something, or to some commune or some secluded place, and just leave the whole materialistic, crazy civilization to themselves. So you could imagine what would happen, right? It'd be completely mayhem, chaos. So the temples, the churches, the synagogues, any religious institution, they bring sanity to society, actually. So the idea is that we, as followers of Srila Prabhupada and members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, we don't want to run off to here, there, anywhere, but we want to be present within the big cities, the towns. Why? So we could help people as far as possible, as far as we can. So someone may ask, okay, well, what's my qualification for helping somebody? Okay, out of humility, we may say we don't have any qualification. Or in reality, we may say we don't have any qualification. But everyone could still help in their own way, whether they in reality have no qualification or in humility have no qualification, or whatever the case is, everybody could help somehow. For example, in order for the temple to go on, money is needed. Lakshmi is needed. Okay, help that way. In order for people to become educated, have a chance to become educated, or at least be exposed to spiritual knowledge, books have to go out. Okay, distribute books. And someone may say, hey, well, I'm not a really good salesman. All right, well, that doesn't matter. Or I'm not a good book distributor. Oh, well, that doesn't really matter. Or I'm shy. Well, that doesn't really matter. So everyone in their own way, they could distribute books. For example, there's Shastra Dawn programs. In other words, one person who makes money, they give money to devotees, Lakshmi to devotees, and the devotees will buy the books. So in other words, you're sponsoring books. You sponsor books, and then devotees will go place them for free in hospitals, schools, this, that, rehabs, all different types of places where they need them. Or smart boxes, right? Devotees, they go and they, every week, every month, they put books in these little boxes that the books sell themselves. Damodar Kumar has some of those. Or Motel Gita, right? Motel Gita. Books are sponsored. You go to the, different motels, or call them, or talk with them, convince them, I want to put books in your motel. Please let me put books there. There's Bibles in all these motels. I mean, my father was staying at the Bahia. It's a huge hotel, $300 a night. Expensive, I think. It's ridiculous, but stay there a few days. It's not too long. It's $1,000. But so I was there. I visited him, and I opened the drawer, and what's there? Holy Bible, of course. No Gita. Yes, we should give him a ring. Bahia, huge, right here. so many tourists. Yeah. So if they have a holy Gita, excuse me, if they have a holy Bible, why can't they have a holy Gita? Bhagavad Gita. They should have Bhagavad Gita. So, or if anything, like, carry books on us. We go to work, right? A lot of people go to work. Carry some books in your car. Carry some books in your bag. You go out shopping to the grocery store. Carry some books with you in your bag in your car. You, whatever. Go to the doctors. You go to the dentist. You visit your friends. You visit your family. Bring some books. Bring some books. Bring some books. Because if we bring books, the books will go out. If we don't bring any books, they won't go out. Because, someone may be interested. Of course, if we dress like this also, it actually does. Of course, there's, whatever. Whether someone agrees with dressing like this or doesn't agree with dressing like this, I'm not going to get into all that. But the fact is, if somebody dresses like this and tilak, this and that, people may ask, oh, hey, well, what's your religion? What are you up to? You look a little different than most people. So then you could tell, oh, I'm a Hare Krishna. And they say, oh, really? Oh, yeah, my uncle was a Hare Krishna, or my friend was a Hare Krishna. And then, or, oh, what's that about? And oh, well, Krishna from India. And if you have a book, you give them a book. Right there, you give them a book. So, and if we have the books, they'll go out. If we don't have them, they won't go out. So, when we were in Mexico, Mukunda Charan and myself, we brought some Hispanic books. And we were crossing over to Mexico. We were there at Tijuana border, and there was some young woman there, and she was writing information of my passport, and I was dressed like this, and she said, oh, what's your religion, or what are you into? I said, oh, you heard about Krishna? She said, oh yeah, my friend, he was interested in Krishna, and he was going to the temple here in Tijuana. So anyways, we talked a little bit, and I gave her a book, a Spanish book. And then we walk into Mexico, and we had some sweets too. Also, we bring prasadam. That's nice too. So there was some, beggars there. I could call them beggars because they're actually beggars. They're sitting there on the concrete, begging. So there were some beggars there. So we gave them some cookies, some nice prasadam. And then when we were about to get in the taxi, some guy, he came, oh, what are you into this? Oh, you heard about, oh yeah, and then we gave him a book, And then we go and we pick up this Tulsi stand here, and the guy who carved it, we give him a book. And then we're going back to the, across the border, and there's another guy, a Spanish guy, Hispanic guy, and looks like he's with a TV company, like a news company. And he goes and he starts chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I said, oh, you know about Krishna? And he said, yeah, I know. And we give him a book, right? So then there's another guy. We're walking across the border and into the country, and the guy says, oh, hey, I really like your guy's outfit. It looks very comfortable and nice color, this and that. And what are you guys into? I said, oh, we're Krishnas. We have a temple there in SanDiego. And so he started talking about there was a band that he knew, and the guy quit. The band was like a famous band and became a Hare Krishna. Like he ditched his band and became a Hare Krishna or something. But anyways, we gave that guy a book too. So that's like what, 4, 5, 6 books. Okay, you'd say, oh, it's not very much. What does it matter? Well, it does matter, because that's 6 souls who will be exposed if they open the book, which hopefully they will, or they give it to somebody else. 6 souls will be exposed to transcendental knowledge, and it may be passed on and on and on and on, and it could, so many people could read those books. We don't know who's going to read those books. So, but if we didn't have those books, that would be 6 people just didn't get the books. So if anything, we could just carry some with us. And of course, like again, we went through all the different programs. So of course, we go out on the street, set up book tables. There's so many ways we could distribute. One devotee, they had their dog, and the dog had You know, they put like a vest on the dog, and then there's some books in the vest, you know. So and they're walking the dog, and the dog's distributing books. So there's different ways. And whoever's hearing this now, whoever's hearing this online or whatever, Damodar Kumar could arrange that you get books, or somehow help with book distributions. And this is what Srila Prabhupada specifically mentions in this purport. He says, the members of the Krishna conscious movement are not at all interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or the forest, where one will only make a show of meditation, nor are they interested in opening many schools for yoga and meditation in the cities. Rather, every member of the Krishna conscious movement is interested in going door to door to try to convince people about the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it is, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. That is the purpose of the Hare Krishna movement. The members of the Krishna conscious movement must be fully convinced that without Krishna, one cannot be happy. Thus, the Krishna conscious person avoids all kinds of pseudo-spiritualists, transcendentalists, meditators, monists, philosophers, and philanthropists. So that is the purpose, to try to introduce spiritual knowledge. And a wonderful way to do that, and Prabhupada directly mentions here, is book distribution. And Prabhupada himself, he said that one devotee, I'll just end with this, Prabhupada himself said that one devotee asked, Prabhupada, are you in the mood of Prahlad Maharaj? Because so we're just reading about Prahlad Maharaj, his mood of trying to save souls, give them spiritual knowledge and bring them back to Godhead. And Prabhupada said, yes, I'm in the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. He said, I'm always trying to deliver these fools and rascals. So people, yeah, they're foolish, they're, you know, engaging in rascaldom in so many different ways, but Prabhupada, he wants to save them, and we could help in that. In Vasudev Dutt, in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, so there's Prahlad Maharaj, which was long time ago, and then more recent is Vasudev Dutt, which it says that he's Prahlad Maharaj. He's an incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. So Vasudev Dutt, he wanted to take all the sinful reactions for all the living entities within the universe and go to hell for as long as it takes for them to go back to Godhead. So that's a lot of sinful reactions. Just try taking all the sinful reactions of people in SanDiego. I mean, it's a lot of sinful reactions. You know, people are doing immoral things and, you know, bad karma. He wanted to take all the bad karma for everybody. So Lord Chaitanya said that his heart was breaking, seeing the humility, seeing the devotion, the mood of Vasudev Dutt. So he said, don't worry about it. You don't have to go to hell at all, but I will take all these souls back to Godhead. So that's what happened. So Prabhupada's also in that mood of Vasudev Dutt, Prahlad Maharaj. And we could try to help that. Or else, yeah, as this verse is saying, it's saying that a person who's just not interested in the welfare of others is considered to be condemned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or his devotee. It means it's not a very sought after position, you know, to not be compassionate and interested in people's welfare. All right, so is there any questions or comments? I think she was first. Oh, you don't like the microphone?
That's okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. So you said one can be helping oneself in spiritual life, and but still one needs help still. So, and you ask for that help, and you help yourself, and but there's I have encountered that there's some people that have said, "Oh, I can help you. Only Krishna can help you." So that for me was
that?
Someone said that.
Oh.
So that was kind of hurt. That was
I
hard.
can't help you. Only Krishna can help you.
Yes. So that was painful because It's basically, I'm helping myself, but I'm asking you for your help. And basically, it's like walking away and not making the time and effort to help you. So if you can comment on that.
Well, I mean, they have a saying. Well, first of all, what I want to say is that Krishna helps those who help others. So, of course, within reason, we can't help others to a ridiculous degree where we have no time for ourselves, you could say, or for our own spiritual practices. But within a reason means Krishna will help those who help others. He likes that, in other words. But aside from that, more directly to your point, is that there's also the saying that God helps those who help themselves. So, in many ways, if we're not really eager or desirous of actually making advancement or progress, we may just be wasting people's time or wasting Krishna's time. And therefore, they won't really extend their help to us. So that's one thing. Maybe people aren't extending their help because they think, oh, this person's not really serious. That's one thing. But another thing is that, or other reasons, I don't know, maybe people don't really feel they want to invest in us for whatever reasons. There may be so many reasons that people may not want to invest in us. So therefore, it's said that there's a verse that says that we should follow in the footsteps of devotees who are more advanced than us, and who have a similar type of affection for Krishna. But a very important aspect of that verse, it says that while following a particular devotee, or taking guidance from a particular devotee who we feel is more advanced than us, that devotee has to be affectionately inclined towards us also. So that, in other words, there may be so many devotees, but if we don't connect, if we don't click, if there's not like a development of a relationship there, then better find somebody else. Which that is the case sometimes. I mean, there's a reason why some people get initiated by some gurus and why others get initiated by other gurus, because there's a reason for that. So, in other words, we shouldn't try to force something, you know.
So if you're helping that devotee that you're asking help, so you're already helping that devotee, and you want some reciprocation them to help you, and you're asking them to help you, but they don't want to, because it's sort of like there could be more like, I take all your help, but I won't give you my help. Sort of like so it's a wrong to,
like selfish.
Yes, it's a wrong to ask for help, for one to expect the help when one is given the help.
For one to expect help when one's giving the help. Well, I mean, just like parents, it's not all the time that the children reciprocate with them, you know, but they do it out of love. It's unconditional love. And later on, the children may realize, oh, my mother and father weren't so bad. They actually really tried to help me, even though I didn't reciprocate. So, you know, there's a time, or there's a lot of the times also spiritual masters and, you know, people who are trying to help people, they may not, the people they're trying to help may not realize it, and they won't a lot of times reciprocate. So we're not supposed to become angry and, you know, upset. We're supposed to be merciful and just whatever, you know, continue to try to help them. And Prabhupada said that spreading of Krishna consciousness takes the heart of a Bengali mother, which is supposed to be a very, you know, affectionate heart. Bengali mothers apparently are special, and very, you know, kind and all that. And the bravery of a British soldier. So, both. Combination. So, yeah.
Just an anecdote that I came across last night reading Yamuna's diary. Prabhupada was talking about how knowledge is such a great thing that when the more you give it out, the more you receive it yourself, and that when one fails to share what their spiritual master has given them, they're actually envious. So this meditation on how to constantly give what Srila Prabhupada has given us, what our respective spiritual master has given us, it's actually an antidote to counteract enviousness.
Yeah. All right. Try. What about Zach? You have something to say? Can't speak? Okay. He's speechless. All right. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.